Namaste friends, welcome. I am currently in Quebec, Canada right now in this beautiful lake, and I wanted to share a little bit of a practice with you guys. As I've been traveling, it's been a little challenging finding space to do some practice to take care of my body, but it's really important because I'm doing so much driving right now and spending a lot of time in a seated position that it is so important to make sure that you're activating your muscles, that the muscles are working, and but more importantly that neuromuscular connection between the muscles and the brain is solidified, is connected. When we're sitting for long periods of time, it can cause a lot of stress to our neuromuscular system and basically shut down muscles. You might have seen some reports where they come out and they say things like, you know, sitting will kill you, and it's a little bit of a hyperbolic statement, but there is a lot of truth to that statement simultaneously. So we want to make sure that our body is being taken care of. And so I want to invite you to come and join me in this practice by this beautiful lake here. Come in, we're going to start by lying down here and just have your knees bent, your feet flat on the ground just for a moment. Have your hands on your belly and take a few deep breaths in and exhale out. There's a beautiful line or opening in the Bhairava Tantra that says, "Where we begin is with the breath, such as the breath that you are taking in now. As you breathe in eternity. As you exhale, exhale into infinity." Give yourself permission in this moment to be present with your breath. To allow the chatter and the noise of the mind to just simply fade away with the breath. Beautiful. So from here, straighten the legs, and we're going to do a very simple muscle activation technique for the side benders of the body. And this is just really simple, it's really subtle, there's not much to it. I'd like you to cross your arms, just to take the arms out of this. Slide your legs a little bit to the right, about 10-15 degrees. Feel like there's a line coming from the spine down into the heels of your feet, and just press through the heels, about 5% effort. But then also, without moving your hips, so keep your hips stationary, but feel as if there's, again, about 5% effort that your legs are pressing to the right. And then bring the legs back and reset. Bend the knees, lift the hips a little bit, straighten the legs, and then bring the legs a little bit to the right. Press through the heels of the feet. And then again, press the legs about 5% effort to the right. And then bring the legs back, bend the knees, reset. Straighten the legs. Bring the legs over to the right a little bit. This is just a really nice way to begin stimulating the intrafusal muscle fibers of the quadratus lumborum. The quadratus lumborum is so responsible for pelvic stability in relationship to the movement of the spine. Bring the feet back. Good. And let's do it again. Bring the legs over. You might notice it just gets a little easier each time to bring the legs over. first time it felt like your legs were lead weights. There's one more little component in this without really moving and just, again, 5% effort, kind of pull the pelvic bone up towards the floating ribs. Again, you're not really moving, so don't move it. It's more of an isometric contraction. And then bring the legs back. Let's do it again. Reset. Bring the legs over. Pull the pelvic bone up. Feel that sense of elongation. And then the feet are coming, or the legs are coming to the right. Again, 5% effort. And then bring the legs back. Very good. Reset, straighten the legs. Now we're going to go to the left. Huge difference. Huge difference. So again, press through the spine. Feel that sense of elongation of the spine down into the heels of the feet. So you're really elongating here. And then bring the legs back. Reset. And then bring the legs over about 10-15 degrees to the left. Now elongate from the spine down into the heels of the feet. And then sliding or pressing the legs to the left. Really, you're pressing through the malleolus, the ankle bone. Notice if you're clenching your glutes, come back and relax them. You might be using or recruiting a lot of other muscles to do this. And that's why in reset, you want to really embody that axiom of AYAMA, less is more. We're really focusing on targeting the quadratus lumborum here as much as possible. Hard muscle to activate. So again, find that length through the spine down into the heels of the feet. Press through the legs to the left, focusing on that ankle bone. That's the leverage point. And then pull that left pelvic bone up towards the floating ribs and then reset. Bring the legs over. Again, I've just noticed it was getting a little easier as my body is waking up. The muscles are connecting to the brain. Sometimes if you can bring your fingers as you're doing this to the QL, you'll feel the QL activating. Just kind of cool. We'll do it one more time. So reset, bring the legs over, elongate from the spine down into the heels of the feet. Pressing the legs over to the left. Very good. Hip bone up towards floating ribs and then come back. Very good. So bring the arms out to the sides now. Bring the knees into the chest. Very good. Straighten the right leg and bring the right leg about 4 inches off the ground. Now flex both toes back and then relax the feet. Very good. Bring that right knee back in towards the chest. Bring the left leg out. Very good. So do both simultaneously. You're pressing through the left heel as you're pulling the right knee into the chest. Bring the left knee back into the chest and then straighten the right leg. Again, about 4 inches off the ground. Don't worry about being exact here. What you're doing here is starting to activate the hip flexors and then bring the right knee back and then straighten the left leg. When we're working in AYAMA, there's a few things that sets us apart from other modalities. And then bring the left knee in and then the right leg out. Number one, we're moving a little slower. So we're not doing this kind of bicycle thing here. We're not moving fast. We're not trying to stimulate the fast twitch muscle fibers, and then change. Bring the right knee in first, and then bring the left leg out. So we're moving slowly and intelligently. Very good. And we'll do it one more time each side. Bring the left knee in, bring the right leg out. Each time we hold, we're holding for about 6 seconds. And it's just a good number. It's long enough to begin connecting the brain to the muscles, and then bring the right knee in and the left leg out. But it's not too long that it's going to start stressing out muscles. So a lot of programs will be like, let's do 5-minute planks. And after about 30 seconds, you're no longer, bring both feet down, just rest for a moment, come back to the breath. After about 30 seconds, you're no longer accessing the muscular system. It becomes more of a force of will. And there's some arguments to be made, good or bad, that you're actually causing more stress to your system by doing that. Now, is stress a good thing or a bad thing? That's another discussion for another day. But from our perspective, for this moment, all we're trying to do is, in a gentle way, reconnect the brain to the muscles. Bring the knees back into the chest. Bring the arms out. Bring the legs over to the right about, I would say about 30 degrees. Now keep pulling the knees in. Very good. And bring the knees back up. Let's do it again. Bring the knees over. Exhale. Pull the knees into the chest. Pull the pubic bone up. You can feel your core really activating here. Press down into the left shoulder, come back up. Inhale deeply, and then exhale, come back over. So the knees are coming towards the right armpit here. That's kind of where the directionality of the knees are going. Come back up. And then exhale, come back over. Now, the instruction here is just come about 30 degrees. If you come more, you're going to notice that you start going beyond your end range of motion. So you want to stay within your range of motion, and then inhale, come back up. And work on making sure that the muscles are strong in that end range of motion. If you go beyond your end range of motion, then you start recruiting other muscles, you start to stress out the neuromuscular system, and muscles will shut down. So stay right about there at about 30 degrees, maybe even 35, 40. Come back up. We'll do it one more time. Pull the knees in, pull the pubic bone in, take the sides of the belly into midline, and come back over. Nice. And then come back up, and exhale, bring the feet down. Inhale deeply, and exhale deeply. Inhale deeply, and exhale deeply. Inhale, bring the knees in, and then exhale, come back over to the left this time. Pull again the knees towards that left armpit. Inhale, come back up. Think about the pubic bone, and you have like a little rope attached to it or a chain, and you're pulling it up to keep those core muscles activated, and come on over to the left. Again, about 30 degrees. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, come back over. Very good. And then come back up. And then come back over. Pull the knees towards the left armpit. Come back up, and then come back over. and come back up. We'll do it one more time. Pull the pubic bone in and up. Squeeze the knees together on this one. Get a little bit of adduction going on. And bring the knees over. Really anchor down into the opposite shoulder blade. So in this case, the right shoulder blade is really pressing down. And then come back up. And then bring the feet down. Bring the hands to the belly. Take a deep breath in. And exhale out. Straighten the legs here. Bring the legs together. Turn the toes out and lift the legs up about 30 degrees. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. Inhale deeply. And then exhale, come on down. Bend the knees, just let the hips up a little, reset. Bring the legs back, turn the toes out. So really externally rotate the legs and then lift up. And then come on down. Beautiful. Jiggle your hips a little bit with your feet separated. Bring the legs back. Turn the toes out and lift up. This is such a great exercise to activate the iliacus, one of the very important hip flexor muscles that helps to stabilize the pelvis in relationship to the movement of the legs. Bring the legs apart, take the legs back together, turn the toes out, and lift up. You might notice sometimes it gets a little easier each time to do this. And then lower back down. Let's kind of reset, bend the knees, lift the hips up, and bring the legs back out. Turn the toes out, lift up about 30 degrees. Okay? Very good. And then down, we'll do it one more time. Bring the legs together, turn the toes out. Now, one of the problems when you're sitting for long periods of time is that all of your flexor muscles just shut down. So it's important to keep those flexor muscles strong. So the flexor muscles, the hip flexors, is when you bring your knees or your legs, towards your trunk. And then your trunk flexors are when you bring your trunk closer to your legs. We're going to do one of my favorite muscle activations for psoas minor, which is one of the biggest trunk flexors. And even though this looks like a hip flexion action, it isn't. It's actually trunk flexion. Put a pin in that. We'll discuss it later. Turn, externally rotate the right leg and bend the knee. Bring the leg up as high as you can. If it's only this far, that's fine. Just bring it up as high as you can. Lift the chest, bring the hands, and reach for the left foot. Now pull the pubic bone up towards your heart, and then relax down. Good, that's psoas minor. Let's do it again. Bend the knee a little bit, externally rotate, lift up. Lift up the chest, and then pull. It's like you're gonna feel the leg move, but you're really pulling the pubic bone towards you, and then come back down. Externally rotate the leg, lift the leg up, lift the chest, lift the head, and pull the pubic bone. And come back down. And externally rotate, lift the leg up, lift the chest. Reach for that foot. So you're actually activating a lot of your trunk flexor muscles right now. And then pull the pubic bone up towards you. And then come on down. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. Bend the knee, lift the leg up. Lift up the chest. Very good. And then come on down. And we'll do it one more time. Bend the knee, externally rotate the leg. lift the leg up. And then lift up the chest. And then pull the pubic bone up towards you. So nice. Come on down. Let's do the other side now. Bend the left knee. Externally rotate the leg. Lift the leg up. Okay. And then lift up the chest. Reach the hands for the feet or the foot. And pull the pubic bone up towards you. Come on down. And then bend the knee, externally rotate, lift the left leg up, lift the chest, reach the hands for the right foot, and pull the pubic bone up towards you. And come on down. Imagine if you did this every single day for 30 days. How would you feel? Externally rotate the left leg, bend the left knee, lift the left leg up. Lift up the chest, pull the pubic bone up towards your heart center. Imagine what it would be like. How would your body feel? I mean, if you feel good after doing it one time, what about if you did it every single day for 30 days? Wow. That would be amazing. Let's do it again. Externally rotate the leg. Bend the knee, lift the leg up. Lift up the chest. Pull the pubic bone up towards you. And come on down. Ooh-ha. Slowly rotate the left leg. Lift the left leg up. Knees bent. Lift up the chest. Do you notice if you're lifting your chest up a little higher, if it's getting easier? Pull the pubic bone up. It's not going to move, by the way, that much. It's more of an internal feeling. You can feel the isometric contraction. Come on down. Very nice. Let's do it again. Slowly rotate that leg. Bend the knee a bit. Lift the leg up. Lift up the chest. Hoo-ha. And then come on down. Very good. All right, so we're gonna do another thing here, 2 more things. So raise the right leg. Now, what I want you to do is take the heel of your right hand, look at where the kneecap is. Just above the kneecap, or in this case below, depending on your perspective. You're gonna bring the heel of your hand right in there, all right? So keep the leg as straight as you can, and just with about 3% effort, press the leg into the hand. Just again, 3% effort, not a lot. And then lower the leg back down. Good, keep the leg as straight as you can. Lift the leg up as high as you can. And then press that leg into the hand. Again, 3% effort, not a lot. And then come back down. Do it again. Raise the leg up. Press that leg into the heel of the hand. Again, just above the kneecap. Okay, it's where the insertion point is for rectus femoris. And come back down. And again, lift the leg up. Press in there. And then come back down. Very good. Do you feel your quads working here? All right, love that. Bring the leg up. Do it again. Do it 2 more times. 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, no more than 3%. If you're doing this correctly with 3%, you're already feeling this a lot. So you don't need to do more than 3%. All we're trying to do is stimulate those intrafusal muscle fibers. Lift the leg up and do it again. Holding 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back down. Let's do the other leg. Lift the left leg up. Find the heel of the hand. Try and keep that leg as straight as possible. Okay? You want to keep that knee in extension and lower back down. And lift the leg up. and back down. And lift the leg up. And press in, again, 3% effort. So interestingly enough, my leg has more flexion and extension in the knee on the right side than on the left side. And then back down, which is interesting because there's some asymmetrical imbalance between left and right side. And then bring the leg back up. And so just notice if you have asymmetrical imbalance, like is it easier on one side than on the other side? And back down. And then back up. This is, by the way, such a great exercise to do. And if you get stuck in a yoga class where the teacher is like, we need to stretch the hamstrings, then just do this practice. Come back down. Very good, my friends. We're going to do one more thing here. You know that a practice with me is not a practice unless we do Shalabhasana. A Shalabhasana a day keeps the doctor away. So on your stomach, just lift the legs up. Lift the chest. Remember, we're activating the longissimus. And then come on back down. Sometimes it's nice to keep the hands on the back. You can feel the longissimus activate here. Lift up. But if you would like to, you can also bring the arms to the sides. Keep the arms off the ground because I don't want you to push up with the hands. Keep the legs as straight as possible. Come on down. And lift up. Very good. Such a great pose to get all the back muscles activated as well. You're even getting a little bit into the glutes. And come on down. And come on up. And come on down. And come on up. Lift up the legs as high as you can. Keep the legs as straight as possible. Lift up from the inner thighs. And come on down. And come on up. Last one. Lift up the legs as high as you can. Now, if you find that you're lifting your chest up more, come down a bit in your chest. Lift the legs up higher, and you're going to feel this in your back muscles. And come on down. Oh, and that's our little morning routine to get us activated and strong for the day. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy practicing, my friends.